Hello and welcome back to our HIP Roman Restoration campaign. In our last episode, we just won another reconquest war against Rome for two of their last three counties, so it leaves us with only a single county left to conquer to both wipe Rome off the map and to complete Tier 1 of our Imperial Reconquest, which I, for one, am quite excited about. We are trying to kill the Sultan right now, just in case we're able to do that for once, and accelerate our timetable here, but it seems like that's not going to be likely. The Duke of Crete has given me bizarre and repulsive evidence concerning this other duke's. This is our very powerful duke over here, actually. Concerning his sexual preferences. How should I use this juicy information? Well, he's pretty happy with me, and I definitely don't want to annoy my most powerful vassal, so... though I suppose we could try to arrest him. Let's see, if we arrested him... He has only a single county, I think, outside of his de jure duchy. Yeah, but if we arrested him and he revolted, we'd be able to revoke his title and get that county out from under him. Is that worth doing? I suppose we can't really declare a really good war right now anyway. We could do another holy war down here, I guess. So maybe we will fight a war against one of our vassals for the purposes of neatening our internal realm structure here. On the other hand, even when we beat him and then take his title... Well, I guess once we take his title, we'll just grant it to somebody else in the duchy. We can just get rid of him and not have to worry about his lowered opinion. Let's do it. We should have righteous imprisonment on him now. Also on this guy for some reason. Only a 31% chance to imprison him. Oh, I guess we did it. Okay. So that kind of puts a damper on my plan since we... Oh, our imperial administration allows us to revoke duchies without any objections from the aristocracy. That's great news. Unfortunately, the crown law does not allow it. We could try to raise our crown law. This enables sub-law title revocation allowed, so we'd have to actually raise this law also. Well, we've definitely gotten over our faction problems. It's only Dubrovnik here. So I think we could raise our crown law. Everyone's going to be annoyed about it, of course, but they'll get over it, I'm sure. I think we'll appoint the landed character. Even though he's not very powerful, it will get him out of the faction, and I suppose that's valuable enough to give up 1 point of stewardship. Daughter is mastering the art of swordsmanship. Already we have an independence faction and the crown law hasn't even gone through yet. Maybe this was a mistake. We're up to limited crown authority though. So we can go up to title revocation allowed, which will give us 10 years of a minus 15 opinion penalty. Let's see how the low crown authority affects things first though. If we get terrible factions, maybe we'll not do that. Subject has converted, okay. Speaking of which, let's check on... Yes, this county has already been converted, so we'll just move our ecclesiarch down here to some of our newly conquered land. Okay, maybe people aren't too unhappy about our crown law. We'll wait another month, I guess, just to make sure. We will continue to refuse giving our brother a fief. Duke of the Peloponnese has created a faction to try to put my brother on the throne, okay. If that's the only faction we get, it's not really a big problem. We can afford to give out bribes, so if it's not too exorbitant, well, it's pretty exorbitant. We can give him an honorary title though, maybe that'll help. Okay, we had another son born in the purple. No congenital traits. Unless you count born in the purple as a congenital trait, which I guess it sort of is. Our other son hasn't picked up any other traits yet. Looks like this is probably the extent of the factions we're getting. I'm pretty sure if we do increase the revocation law, though, we're going to get more factions. We can probably handle it, though. Alright, let's do it. So, -2 forever and -15 for the next 10 years. We can survive it for 10 years. What's the worst thing that could possibly happen? Assuming that people even vote for it. I caught my young wards torturing a rat behind the stables today. We'll talk to her about kindness. Subject is converted. Yeah, we might have trouble getting this through. Okay, the criminal brought before me was a local merchant from Tekkerdagh who raped a number of local women. Due to his connections and wealth, he was able to intimidate most of his victims and their families into staying silent. But he made a mistake when he raped the daughter of a nobleman. Now many of his victims' families demand justice and proper compensation. So we can let him go, raise revolt risk, which would be bad. Especially since we have that ongoing bug about the minor clan risings. Which unfortunately I think we're just going to have to live with for the duration of this campaign, since although the newest version of HIP, which came out recently, supposedly fixes that, I can't actually upgrade and continue this campaign because the version is incompatible with previous save games. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We can imprison him and give some of his wealth to us and the rest of his victims. So we could become just and gain some gold and lower revolt risk. We're not already just, so that would be good. Or execute him publicly and give all of his possessions to his victims so we don't get the gold. And we could maybe become zealous. Or we could let him go, he's obviously innocent. Become greedy. Yeah, I don't think we want to do that. I guess the gold doesn't matter too much. And I wouldn't really mind becoming zealous, so we'll execute him publicly. We didn't become zealous, but we did become just. Okay. Sounds good. I think we got a few more supporters here. More tech points, thanks to our wife. A few more supporters. I think we just have to get up to a simple majority. So, not too long. Not too far to go before we get that through. You claim that the Duke of Macedonia is attempting to promote vile heresies. He doesn't look like a heretic. And he is relatively happy with me, for now. We'll keep it to ourselves. We have raiders down here. Maybe our vassal will raise troops to deal with that himself. Or maybe they're just passing through, that's fine as well. Ooh. To the cleft-lipped kinslayer, Meletios. You child of a mangy dog, this is a formal declaration of war. Our army shall meet on the field of battle. Okay. So this guy is from down here, okay. Or is it these guys? Either way, he's after the Duchy of Tripoli. A holy war, I guess? Oh, it's a claim war. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we'll raise our troops. This now seems like a terrible time to be messing with our crown laws and potentially annoying our vassals, whose levies we need to rely on to win this war for us. There is this band of raiders over here. Let's hope we can avoid them. We'll try to get our troops together a little further away from the front. Of course, they approve the laws now. Great. I think we'll probably go ahead and raise the Varangian Guard as well, since it won't cost us too much. Who are we at war with exactly? It is just this guy, I guess, for now. Assuming he doesn't call anyone in. So he has 14,000 troops. Actually not that scary if it's just him. The craftsmen that you funded a couple of years ago have returned to tell you of their success. With your support they were able to set up their business, and it's now one of the most profitable enterprises in Constantinople. So we get extra city tax in Constantinople and 100 gold. But city tax is actually especially valuable in here because we have like 3-4 cities that we're getting tax from there. So that's probably a pretty sizable increase in our income. Peasant revolt over here, so definitely try to steer clear of that. And we actually have 0 factions right now. I guess actually we have the plus 75 opinion bonus with all of our vassals for defending against infidels, so at least we'll be able to get through some of the 10 years of negative opinion. Thanks to that. You have successfully converted the county you were working on, good. Move you over to the next county. We'll get our first 16,000 on their way towards the target duchy. There are some troops over here from the enemy, but not his main army, obviously. Our son threw up on us while we were dining, okay. Not really my primary concern here. We can call in our allies as well, of course, of which we have quite a few. Let's actually do this. Why not? Georgia's not too happy with me, so he might refuse. Don't think we'll bother with Wales. We can call in Armenia. And we'll call Croatia too, though he is very unhappy with me. Because of his zealotry. Okay. We'll call him anyway. Looks like we have some more troops landing. Armenia comes in. Georgia refuses. And Croatia refuses. Okay. So that was another 6,500. We still have them outnumbered with our army that we're sending down. You have already succeeded in converting the next county. You are telling me about Dubrovnik's sexual preferences. We don't care about that. We know he's not very powerful. So let's see. He seems to be sieging in this county, Tripoli, which unfortunately is mountains. However, I think we'll go ahead and try to fight him in there. I think it's in our interests to try and take out his army before the rest of his troops arrive. Looks like he's moved to the next county, which I can't quite hover my mouse over apparently. We'll just attack him in there anyway. He took a river crossing but no other terrain penalty. This should be a pretty easy victory then. Gets us all the way up to 56% already. So if we want to actually gain some war score from sieges, we're going to have to go all the way down to his land here. On the other hand, we should start getting war score from controlling the war goal pretty soon. So we could just play it defensively and sit tight in the target duchy here and stop him from sieging anything. I think it's probably going to be what we'll do. I imagine we can get a white peace actually already if we wanted to. But we'll try to push him to enforce demands for the extra 500 gold, and because staying in this war is good for us from a vassal opinion standpoint, since if it wasn't for the it's only plus 50 actually defending against foreigners that we're getting, but if it wasn't for that we'd be getting pretty bad opinion with a lot of our vassals thanks to the crown authority thing. Raising 2 crown laws in quick succession there is probably not actually the smartest decision now that I think about it. I've heard that many of the peasants under my rule are not eager to partake in this war. They claim that they suffer a lot for what seems to be pointless fighting. Okay. We'll just call them useless pieces of filth. That's fine. So we have another 6,000 enemy troops over here. He is headed into Tripoli. I guess I don't actually have an army in there right now. Can we get there first? We cannot, but I think we can just attack him in there. About the same as the previous battle. Except we do have the mountains against us this time. I think we'll be okay though. The lady almost ran me down as I entered the hall. Tearfully she told me that my daughter Phyllis had insulted her again. I don't mind if she becomes honest, that's okay. Okay, so that was a pretty easy victory. You're headed up to Tortosa, where we already have an army, so we'll just leave that there to receive them. And unfortunately we're up to 100%, so we're going to have to end this war, I guess, and get rid of our opinion bonus. That's fine. At least we get 500 gold to use for bribes on our angry vassals. And we gain 150 prestige, which actually doesn't help us with vassal opinion at this point, but I guess it's nice anyway. Alright, let's disband our troops. And let's look at our faction tab and just see just how bad the damage is. So far it's only the one guy in a faction, but pretty sure we're going to get more. Well, there is Dubrovnik again. We don't need to worry about him too much. Extra tech points is good. Peloponnese, okay. Wants to put my brother in power. Where is our Chancellor working right now? Oh yeah, you're working on this guy. Well, we definitely don't need to worry about his opinion because we still have him in prison. We can, incidentally, revoke his title now, but I think we'll... Actually, there's no reason not to do that, since he can't revolt against us when he's in prison and we now have the Crown Authority. Costs us 100 prestige, I guess, but we can afford that. So we'll grant this to some random person in here. Maybe not you, you're a drunkard. Not you either, because you're the one who is in the wrong duchy. This was... Oh yeah, you're not the drunkard, okay. You will do just fine. So he doesn't get this county. So that's one vassal at least who's very happy. This guy we need to transfer under the Aegean Sea here, so that should make him considerably happier too. to 46. Okay. This faction up to 69%, so we should do something about this. And I'll probably just freely send out gifts, even if they are very expensive. Alright, maybe it's not going to be so bad after all. Oh, it looks like Rome is at war with somebody. Defending against King Fragan the Hammer of Jerusalem. What a great name. Being called in as an ally by the Seljuks, okay. Well, good luck, King Fragan the Hammer. But we are out of time for this episode, so we'll have to leave it here for now. Thanks for watching, and join me again next time.